Crypto noobs. If you have Bitcoin right now and you want to buy more Bitcoin without leveraging, don't ever leverage your Bitcoin. You can go to ledden.io or you can go to, I think it's called Xapo Bank, XAPO, and you can let them custody your Bitcoin and you can borrow against your Bitcoin. So as an example, they'll loan you up to like 50%. If you have a Bitcoin, you can let them custody it and you can borrow a half a Bitcoin immediately. Like they say Ledden takes about 18 hours, but all the Ledden loans I've taken, I get the Bitcoin back into my account, deposit my account as USDC within about 2 hours. I mean, it's amazing how quick they do. And Zappo will deposit your money when you deposit Bitcoin almost immediately. So I've taken a ton of Bitcoin and I borrowed against it, and then I bought more Bitcoin. So basically, what I'm doing is, as Bitcoin runs over the next year, I'm going to pay back the loan probably next year when Bitcoin hits 200,000 or 300,000, and I will add to my Bitcoin pot. So it's a no-brainer. I would never leverage Bitcoin, because when you leverage Bitcoin, the whales go out there and they short the Bitcoin, push it down, and they can see all of the accounts that are leveraged, and they basically just push the Bitcoin down. These people get called out and they lose their Bitcoin, and as people get called out, it just cascades down, and Bitcoin dumps, and then after all, the retail investors like you and I get screwed. The whales come in and they buy up all the Bitcoin that got liquidated. It's really unfortunate. It's not fair, but that's the way the institutions play the game. You could also buy the MSTY ETF, which is the MicroStrategy ETF, and what they do is they buy and sell calls during the month, and when they do, you can generate an income. So it's an income generating vehicle. I read recently that a guy had put $400,000 into the MSTY ETF. It was about $20 a share, I guess, and he's generating around $20,000 or $30,000 a month in income. That means if you put $30,000 in, you'd be generating $2,000 or $3,000 a month in income, which isn't too bad. It's sitting around $19 a share right now. The other thing is, I watched as the Trump raised the tariffs on China, and people were bitching about it because China's not coming to the table. China's economy's in big trouble. Their economy's ready to collapse. They need to get their crap together really quick. I think that Trump will probably bring the tariffs down here in the next few weeks with China, but I don't really care. We're already generating billions of dollars a day right now in income revenue from the 10% tariffs they put across the board with other countries. Now, excuse me, I know that we were expecting Treasury yields to drop, and they started skyrocketing when China announced tariffs in the United States, and people were like, well, it doesn't make any sense. Well, because China started selling not started, they continued selling the U.S. Treasuries, and when you do that, the Treasury rates go up, and people say, well, why does that happen? Because most people don't understand Treasuries. So how do you explain Treasuries? So it's like the opposite of supply and demand. As the demand goes up, the supply, as demand goes up, supply goes down, right? Because people are buying. The way Treasuries work is that a Treasury is like, you want to, if the economy goes to crap, people will leave stocks and they'll sell stocks and they'll rush to capital assets like gold and Bitcoin and Treasuries. And when they go to Treasuries, what they're telling the government is, I'm going to give you some money, but I need an interest rate. And the government says, all right, I'll pay you an interest rate to buy my Treasury notes, right? Well, as more people come to the government, the demand for Treasury notes go up. The government says, well, we don't have to offer as high of interest rates anymore because more people want our bonds, and so we'll lower the rates. But as long as people keep coming, we'll continue to lower the rate, because why raise it since we're the ones paying the interest on the note to these people? We'll lower the rate and give the U.S. a better opportunity to refinance their debt at lower rates. That's what they're really doing. They're taking their debt and they're giving people lower and lower interest rates to refinance their debt. So, and then when times are good, people sell Treasuries and they run back to stocks, and Treasury rate goes higher and higher and higher, right? It's the opposite of it's not intuitive. It's the opposite of what you would expect. And that's why the Treasuries were popped up the other day, because China was just selling the crap out of their Treasuries. Well, you know what? Guess what, China? You don't have a hell of a lot of Treasuries left to sell, which means that the United States is going to be in a really good position to work out the tariffs with China. China's going to lose this. 80% of the world does business in the U.S. dollar. 80%. Very few of them use the BRICS because they're fighting constantly over, the value of the BRICS. Most people don't speak Chinese, so no one's going. If you're going to go and buy something, you're not going to use yuan, or you're going to use anything that has to do with Chinese currencies to make transactions. If somebody in Turkey wants to make a transaction with someone in Acapulco, they convert their dollar, their country's dollar to the U.S. dollar, and they do business like that. If someone wants to buy oil, South America wants to buy oil from the UAE, they convert their money to the United States dollar, and they do business in the U.S. dollar, right? So their country is getting ready to collapse. They're literally financially, they're getting ready to get into kind of a hyperinflationary phase of their dollar. They're gonna crash, and when they do, there's going to be a complete I think they're going to reorganize the government over there, whether that means Xi's going to be out or not. But they're in a lot of trouble right now. The United States is everything. All the cylinders are firing in the United States right now. Anyone who's complaining about tariffs is a communist. For the past 80 years, the United States has been propping up all these shitty countries, allowing them to charge us tariffs, and we've become a dollar supplier. But after, excuse me, I got kind of a cold. After the BRICS agreement was signed, the United States went there and said, hey, listen, world, we want to make the United States dollar the world currency. And because all your countries are shit and all your countries were destroyed after the war, you guys go ahead and sell your stuff into our country. You can charge tariffs on us, it's okay, and we're going to supply you money. So instead of the United States being an industrialized nation and building stuff and sending it overseas, we helped everybody nation build, and they supplied goods and services to us. We supplied dollar to them. We exported dollars, they exported what they manufactured into our country. And it got to the point now where all these nations are rich and we're broke. So Trump says, you know what? No, we're not doing that anymore. Those tariffs are done. Your countries were rebuilt decades ago, and all these morons that have talked about we're going to put tariffs on the other countries like Obama and Biden and Schumer and Pelosi and Biden and Clinton's, all these spineless pieces of shit who've run this country into the ground. They made these false promises. They didn't do anything. Trump ran on, we are going to get rid of illegal aliens and we're going to put tariffs on other countries. No one's surprised. That's why he has the highest rating, or one of the highest ratings a president has ever had in our country. Because he doesn't bullshit. He tells you, this is what I'm going to do. It's going to cause some short-term pain, and then we're going to fix things. Regardless of what the Democrats are saying, egg prices have come down. Price of oil is down 20%. Don't believe the bullshit that they tell you. Anyway, so you have your little bit of lesson on U.S. Treasuries. People rush to Treasuries. It allows the government to refinance their debt at a lower interest rate, and it's a lot easier to pay the interest on $36 trillion at 3% than it is at 6%, right? Now, in addition to that, Jay Powell, who's a complete idiot, either way, who doesn't like President Trump, is going to be forced to start quantitative easing probably in May, which means they're going to dump more money into the markets and provide more liquidity. When they do that, what's going to happen? Well, businesses will start taking more loans, they'll start hiring more people, and then it'll stimulate the economy. And by dumping more money into the economy, what's going to happen? More people are going to start buying Bitcoin. So if you're not buying Bitcoin right now, you are in trouble. Bitcoin's going to $100,000 by summer probably, and at least $200,000 by the end of the year. It's time to buy Bitcoin. Class dismissed.